Welcome back to our special monthly installment, Inside Justice. Just moments ago, you heard from the man who was first on the scene after accused murderer and rapist David Renz kidnapped a woman and young girl, raped the girl, killed the woman 2 months ago from the Great Northern Mall. Tonight, our exclusive monthly Inside Justice segment with Onondaga County District Attorney Bill Fitzpatrick. And thanks for joining us tonight. Mr. District Attorney, first, your thoughts about Mr. Craig and the work he did that night. Pretty remarkable, it seems.
Well, you know, we overuse the word hero, don't we? We call somebody that does
yeah.
something ordinary, we say, well, he was a hero. In reality, Bill Craig and John Hart, they're heroes. It's late at night. You have no idea what you're confronted with, and you see this horrible scene in front of you. And what do? Do you drive away? Could you blame somebody for driving away in this day and age with all the terrible things that are happening? Mm-hmm. No, these two guys stopped. And Craig gives a very, not that Hart didn't, but Craig gives a very compelling affidavit because he's got military training and he's trained to, see things that other people might not see in terms of, color, definition, where was this person, what did this person say, and so forth and so on. So he'll be a very compelling witness.
There's been a lot of questions about where we go from here in this case. We know in terms of state charges, David Renz cannot be put to death. But federally, if federal prosecutors take up this case, he can. So what needs to change? What do we need to see happen for death penalty to be on the table?
The United States Attorney's Office has to go through a process, which I'd prefer he to speak to, but I can tell you very briefly, Reader's Digest version. They submit the facts to an individual in D.C., who's a former prosecutor in Virginia, and that individual is then assigned to present that to the upper echelon of the Department of Justice, and ultimately it's Attorney General Holder's decision whether or not. I don't know what time frame on that at all, and we're proceeding. I've said this before, and the defense lawyer is well aware of it. We're going to have an open file. We're going to try to move this case along as rapidly as we can. Onondaga County is one of the fastest counties in the state in terms of getting a case from indictment to trial, and we intend to follow that procedure in this case. We're going to have whatever he needs in terms of discovery, whatever he needs in terms of expert witnesses. I'm sure it will be made available to him, and we want to get this case to trial and justice for little Jean.
Let's move on to a different topic. We had in the news a few weeks ago now an investigation, search warrant executed at Dr. Neulander's house. What can you tell us about that investigation? Is there an investigation going on? Well,
not my habit to lie to the news people. Obviously, there's an investigation going on if we've executed a search warrant. I just want to clear up one thing, and that was that the defense lawyer, Mr. Mencken, who I have a lot of respect for, had a very sort of bombastic press release criticizing Chief Conway and DeWitt for quote-unquote leaking this. That's not what happened at all. The news media were tipped off by people in Hanover Square who saw this police presence from DeWitt in my office, and they were obviously executing a search warrant, and it was obviously Dr. Neulander's apartment. I'll have a lot more to say in the coming months. I'd ask people to, absolutely reserve judgment. We haven't charged Dr. Neulander with anything. It's being examined by some of the best scientific minds in the country, and when my office feels that we've reached wherever the evidence leads us, we've reached the truth of what happened that day back in September, I'll be happy to share that with you folks.
Do you know whether there was a crime committed? It's a question of who might have committed it, or do you know whether there was even a crime involved?
The medical examiner in Onondaga County to date has ruled it an accident, that it was an accidental slip and fall in the shower. We are pursuing that to see if that is in fact the correct diagnosis of what happened.
Is everybody in agreement on that it was an accident?
I don't want to comment any more on that, Matt. Thanks, though.
Okay. All right, we're going to continue our conversation with the DA coming up in just a few minutes about some of the other local cases making headlines across central New York. Stay with us.